All right, we are live. Happy Bow Tie Friday. I'm here with a bunch of dudes from the Build Guild, and we're going to mess around with mainnet forking, Aave lending, aping into things, what that means by rolling up a position, how you can do that with scaffold-eth. And if you're a builder looking to build decentralized applications, each one of these branches are just looking to be forked and extended. So I think I'm going to share my screen first. Boom, there we go. Okay, close that up. Here we go. So here is, here it is, right? Basically what we have is we have a server out here running our own mainnet fork. So we've done a mainnet fork here and all of us have access to it here. And I've hooked up my MetaMask and I've set my MetaMask to be like a custom RPC also. But really all of this just kind of emulates, you could have your own mainnet fork running by just doing a yarn fork on your hard hat side. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you guys talk me through this, make sure I'm like not doing this wrong or anything. But once I have, once I'm connected, we're basically pretending like this is mainnet. Like this is a simple app that we built with scaffold-eth, and we've deployed it to a server, and it's talking to a fork of mainnet. But all of this could just be you're talking to your own local mainnet node and you're about to ape in, or you're talking to mainnet in Fura. Like this app could be yarn deploy, yarn shipped pretty easily. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to lend uni, right? So I'm going to need to deposit some uni. So I have 3,000 thanks to some cool burner wallet things that I did. But let's deposit the uni into, okay, confirm. Okay, so what did we do there? We approved the Aave contract to take the 1,000 uni. And then, okay, yeah. So 8, this is not right. Let's do 275 to make sure we mimic real mainnet gas. So this would cost 135. But what we're doing here is we're having the Aave contract come in and take our 1,000 uni. And that's going to give us, does that give us back A tokens? Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so show you around. So this is built on scaffold-eth, and then this with a couple of things. So first thing is we're using the mainnet subgraph for Aave to sort of give us all this market data. They've got a great subgraph. It's got all of the information about all the markets. It's a little bit weird because we're running a mainnet fork, so we kind of look at our own local chain where different things are happening to things that are happening on mainnet, but it kind of works for our purposes. And then the other thing, I don't know if you saw there that it was one button click and it queued up the approve, and then it immediately queued up the transaction. That's a really cool thing, which I only discovered this weekend, which is essentially using Aave.js like transaction builder, where basically you just say, okay, I want to deposit this amount of this tokens, and it goes away and it says it works out that I need to approve. So Austin will know, like, I hate trying to build like nice approve flows, and this one just lets me have like 2 buttons and it gives you 2 pop-ups, and it's like, well, I think it's pretty smooth.
One of the big gotchas of decentralized builders is we all have to build that stupid approve flow, right?
Yeah, exactly. But so it's one of those where it's basically scaffold-eth with those 2 other things, and yeah, we're like, I guess, so we've got the markets here. So this is really just stuff about the markets. You saw since Austin deposited, we've got like Collateral, so 10 ETH in the top left.
A new borrow button showed up, right? So
yes,
I've put in 10 ETH Collateral, and this new borrow button showed up everywhere, and also a new withdraw showed up on uni, and it shows that I've got my 1,000 deposited.
Dope. Yeah, and if you and you can click between. So currently we're showing native values for all of this stuff. You click to look at the ETH value because Aave's got a built-in just above there at the top.
Where am I clicking? Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So that will show you that's everything in ETH, that's everything in USD.
Nice.
So basically this is this is an encapsulated component. There are like a few bits to it because there's quite a lot going on, particularly when you get to like clicking the button and doing the actions, and particularly getting the data from Aave in the subgraph. But all you just give this a provider looking at the chain that you want and the price of ETH right now, and then that gives you everything you need.
All right. So we've deposited 20 grand and we've spent maybe like $400 so far. So we're $400 down and we're 20 grand in. But now what we want to do is, so there's this really interesting mechanic of how shorting and longing and leverage positions work. And I didn't know anything about this stuff when I first got in. I was just a programmer. I don't know anything about economics or finance or anything. But technically, it's just if you want to short a token, you just buy a bunch of that. You borrow a bunch of that token and you swap it to something else, and then you borrow some more of that token, right? So we have to kind of decide here what we think the market is going to do. But let's see. I think what we're going to do is we're going to lock up our uni. So we're going to always hold that uni, and we're going to get some DAI for it. And then if we use that DAI, we can buy some more uni, right? So basically this is us going long on uni. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I think I was in the same boat as you in terms, but yeah, essentially because you've deposited this collateral, like $20,000, Aave, based on a bunch of parameters, like gives you a certain amount that you can borrow off the back of it. And like I think at the top it tells you your allowance, and like, oh yeah, that's some great formatting there. Jumping off the screen. But like the maximum borrow on this amount is like 12,000 DAI. And so we can effectively borrow that, could go away and swap it, and then come back, if that makes sense. So again, it's like super simple stuff, but it's cool to build it in the scaffolding and start to plug it together.
Exactly. This stuff does exist in other places, but the point is this is in a nice forkable app that'll stand up on its own. And if you have any idea about things you'd like to build or small tweaks you'd like to make, you just go fork this and you make those small tweaks and you kind of carve everything out that you don't need. It's kind of just a lot of scaffolding to hold stuff up. Okay, so if I wanted to do this traditionally, I would borrow, I've put in my uni, I would borrow a bunch of DAI, then I'd use that DAI to buy more uni, then I'd lock up the uni, and then I'd borrow more DAI with that new collateral, and I'd do that kind of in a loop a couple times. Is that right? And then I'd be kind of like leveraged up on uni going up. And if uni went down, I could get liquidated, right? And lose basically all, what is it? I would get to keep the DAI that I borrowed, but I would lose all the stuff that I've leveraged. But if or I've put up for collateral, but if I put up collateral in a loop, maybe I would lose all of it. So you're risking like liquidating all of everything if it goes the other direction. But if it goes the right direction, you get like, 2x gains or whatever. Okay. So that's the position go ahead, please.
Be careful about out there, I guess I'm glad we're not on mainnet right now.
Disclaimer, this is a mainnet fork. We're not doing this for real. And Austin doesn't have the whatever it takes to do this, the ape parts. Okay, but let's talk about that ape, right? So now we have this idea of this Aave Ape, and I think I can go to the scaffold-eth folder if you're on the Aave Ape branch, right? And maybe we'll link the Aave Ape branch in the show comments. Smash that like button. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a yarn deploy here, right? And a yarn deploy, I think, is going to deploy our ape contract. Ooh, it's got to download compilers first. Let's go see if I can go find that ape contract while we're here. Yeah, let's go grab that. So that is here. Yeah. Aave Ape. Very nice. Okay. And what this ape does is kind of repeat that process that we were talking about. Borrowing the asset we want to short, in this case, DAI, swapping it for the asset we want to long, in this case, uni, and then probably repeating that. So basically, this is the cool part. So you ape, and that does the loop one time. But what you've built is there's probably like a for loop in here, right? I think I've seen it. Yes, super ape. Check this out. We got the super ape, and the super, oh, whoops, I don't want to. The super ape basically does a for loop, which is so cool. It does the ape in a for loop. I mean, just like obvious, simple programming, but it shows you how cool this is. Basically, this for loop is going to leverage up on that position, and each time it repeats that, it's going to borrow the shorted asset, switch it to the long asset, and put it in. And it's so cool that you can just do this in code like that. So let's see, we've deployed our contract. We got some warnings here, but that's just published script, right? The contract did deploy. And if we go look at the front end, you've built us a nice UI here that tells us we've got our collateral, we've got our debt. Okay, so now they're saying, what do you want to go long? I think we want to go long uni, right? And we want to go short DAI.
Yeah, and just check, actually, if you just go down to the bottom, we've just got the contract component, and we just check because there's some configures. So BF53, yeah, perfect. So this is like the raw contract stuff, but it's all sort of packaged up above. And the way it kind of works is that it's trying to make it as simple as possible for me on the front end, which is basically that like you could put it so you say you want to go long 10 uni or whatever, but we just want to say, okay, let's just take uni, let's borrow as much DAI as we possibly can, let's swap that like all to uni, and then let's just deposit it back. So yeah,
I've delegated credit, which means the Ape contract, I've basically taken that credit that I put in some collateral, and now I hold some A tokens. I've given basically access to the Ape. So now the Ape can take my collateral and do something weird with it. Is that right? Here we go. Go Ape. Just like, what is this going to cost? Wait, we didn't even check what the deployment of the contract costs. We probably should have checked that too. How big is this contract? It's probably very big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty. I didn't tidy it up.
So this is just a contract call. This isn't actually deploying we've already deployed the contract, and it was like 2 million gas. So that's already like $1,000, right? So this is probably not as. There we go. Will you be the king of the jungle? Question mark. There we go. Okay, cool. So there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So AustinGriffith.eth has on a mainnet fork gone long on uni and short DAI at a price of $24 per uni. Is that right? 24 DAI per uni.
Yeah.
So let's see. So, oh, here we go. We can see that I've got, there we go. So my collateral to start was only 10 ETH, right? I only had 1,000 uni. And now if we look at what I've got deposited in here, I actually have almost 1,500 uni, right? So that's due to the result of us being able to loop, basically putting up our collateral, getting a loan, swapping the loan, getting more, putting it in as collateral and repeating. We got an extra like 500 uni out of that, which is like 10 grand, right? So with our 20 grand investment, we were able to leverage up and make it look like 20 grand plus, 30 grand, right? So a total of basically 30 grand is our exposure here, even though we only had 20 grand. And what we're risking is if it goes the other direction, we get liquidated. But the thing is not the investment stuff. Even though this finance stuff is super powerful and really interesting, the cool thing is this is all like in a forkable open source app, and it's all permissionless, and anybody can get in here and just be like, I want to change this into another product that I want to deploy that lets everybody, you know, go the other direction and short or something like that, right? So are we aped in? How do I even know? So really at this point, we would be watching the market very closely, and we would be saying, please, 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 uni go up. Please, 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 uni go up. But what else can we even see here? Or is it time to switch over to Kovan? What should we look at?
So this is one where, so we could either move the market here and like see how that would work, or we could do that whole thing. So this maybe we can use the snatch thing. So this is maybe a cool thing to talk about. Yeah, you said the naming, man. What name? But so the idea here is that we're on a mainnet fork, and yeah, all credit to Tim Coates on the call who built the first version of this, which and that's why that's his .eth address there, because he's the default guy we steal money from now. So effectively, this is a thing which you can only do on a mainnet fork because it's basically like a local chain. Hardhat have got this really great feature that lets you just grab stuff. We did a video, I think, where we sort of hacked on this and got it going, but this is just like again another little encapsulated component that anyone could just take off, and if they want to easily get money. So we're going to try and find. So I think we want to get a load of DAI. Actually, is what we want, because we want to basically buy. Do we want to win or do we want to lose on the trade? I guess. Do we want the price of uni to go up?
Well, I think I think we would want to win. So that would mean that people would basically move the market by putting in a bunch of DAI. Is that right? Yeah, they would buy. Yep.
So maybe I'll come in. Shall I?
eToro would have the holders.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I missed it.
eToro, they have the holders as well, like Etherscan.
Yeah, that's where I was headed. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, and we're looking for a non-contract, right? It needs to be a person. Let's just grab one and see what happens here.
Let's see. Actually, maybe because we're on the same. local chain, right? So I can do this.
Yeah.
Do you just want to go and look at swap, and I'll buy a bunch, and I'll make it happen?
Darn it. oh, ENS isn't. That's what it is. Oh, whoops. Yeah. That's true. So you're saying that since this is a public network, this is a public mainnet fork, you can get on there too, and you can. How would we see? Here's how we see. We would do one uni. We would watch the price of uni. So let me put in uni here and see how much DAI we'll get out of it. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no, get out of here. Right, we'll just do one uni and then we'll see the price jump a whole bunch because there we go. Yeah. All right, it's at 29. Is that right? Did you do something already?
No, there's some weird stuff happening there.
Okay.
It's probably the main local fork thing.
Okay.
But did I get any yet?
And we can see the chain. This is our fork there. We can see you just did a transaction. This is basically, this is our mainnet, and it's kind of like riding on top of normal mainnet. So we're all making calls here. Should I reload this? What we're looking to see is for this price to go way up, right? Basically, if you put a bunch of DAI in and you got some Uniswap out,
yeah,
balance.
It's not letting me reset this amount. Let's see if we can get it. Oh man, I'm only getting a DAI at a time. Let me do it another way.
I'm gonna try snatching too for the audience at home. Here we go. So we're gonna grab this dude. So much DAI. Grab
it might only be given 10 at a time at the moment.
Ooh, yeah. Let's give it to this dude too. Oh man, reloading. Okay, start with that dude. Grab 1 million DAI. Grab this dude's address. Snatch some DAI. Now he's got some DAI. Yeah. Okay, we need to send some ETH to this dude though, right? So he has some gas. All right, now this dude should have some ETH, should have some DAI. He should be able to go here and swap. And what he wants to do, first he's gonna have to do ETH to DAI, right? Is that gonna mess?
Oh no, you could.
No, I've got.
No, you could do DAI. Yeah, you've got the DAI. You got the DAI.
Yeah, there we go. I wish I had that much DAI. It'd be perfect. Okay, and then we're swapping to uni.
Yeah, this is gonna round the price to a crazy amount, by the way.
There we go. Look at that token approval, token swap. There we go. Our burner wallet just swapped. Oh wait, it says insufficient balance. No, I think it worked. I think
it worked. It worked. Yeah, it's because you can't do it again.
Now let's go to uni and let's ask for. Oh, I did it again. Who built this component? Significant. Oh man.
Terrible.
Oh man. Let's go. All right, I want one uni, and I want to see what that get. Oh yeah. So it went from being worth $20 to being worth like $1,000. I don't know if we did that right. So I feel like we missed some order of magnitude. That it shouldn't have gone up that much, right? That means that there's like not very much liquidity.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the ARB bots that aren't like working against us the whole time, cleaning things up. Either way, the price went up like a couple of orders of magnitude, and that doesn't feel right. But it's good for our test here. So let's see. Let's connect back with Austin Griffith, who has this 15 ETH. So I put in $10,000, and then I've levered up another $10,000, thinking that this uni was going to go north. And then we totally like wailed on the market and shifted the price of uni. So hopefully it did go north. So now I need to like unwind everything, right?
Yeah.
So if I allow the token.
So this is now one which is, so whereas getting into the position is quite simple, because you basically just have to borrow and swap and redeposit and borrow and swap and redeposit. To get out of the position, particularly if you like leave it up a couple of times, that would be harder to do. So you can this way you can use a flash loan and basically get the entirety of the DAI that you owe at a given point, get that back, and then essentially you can then use your collateral to like take that out all in the same transaction to swap to whatever it is you need, and then repay the flash loan. So that's happening in the Ape. I wonder if it'll work.
And yeah, to dive into the like why we need a flash loan is if you want to unroll that position, you need to have like, yeah, if you have, oh, what, I shouldn't have done 8. I should have done 273 gas so we could really see it, but there we go. Yeah, so we opened the position with uni worth $24 and we closed the position with uni worth 72, like a whole bunch, right? So, but if I go dump this back on this market, I'm just going to get the same number back. Really, you need a whole market, you know, of liquidity and other actors arbitraging and stuff for this to actually work. But now I have like a ton of that asset that we thought was going to go north. Is that right? Is that, let's see, what do I end up with when I'm totally done here?
So if you go, you've got 15 ETH. I can't remember how much you've put in to start with.
But I want to look at how much uni I have, right?
Except it's still all in.
No,
it's all in.
Yeah.
It's still in Aave.
So if you go back, okay. I need to go here and go to the withdraw.
Yeah, or you can just switch it to USD to take a look at how much you got now, I guess.
It's still the 30,000, but I'm guessing it's because the other, like the market's not moving, or there's something like what
was it not? Didn't you put in 20,000?
That's true. That's true.
So
That's true.
We basically got the 10 grand.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
you got to put in. You got to put in an amount.
See, I think we need, like, I wish we could do a mainnet fork where there would be like all these other actors that would continue to, like, I want to do a mainnet fork where just my transactions are forked away and the whole network is still like, I don't know how to do that, but like still a bunch of like rational and irrational actors banging away at things to kind of arbitrage and set stuff up. I feel like I don't totally understand. I think it's just because the mainnet swap goes the other way. Yeah. But I feel like if we were to go long on a token that goes from $20 to $7,000, I feel like we would have like millions and millions of dollars, but maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong.
Oh, because I guess we just like it's the amount in the token. Like if uni was actually worth $70,000.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so we have $30,000 worth of uni back then, and then if you multiply it by this, that's the new price of it. If things were to stay like this, got it.
And it's kind of because this is again the slightly weird thing where when you're doing something on a fork and like Aave prices are all based on their own price oracles, and it's again that thing where you sort of hit an edge on what you can do on a local fork, which because you don't have all these other actors and oracles updating their prices and all this kind of stuff. But in terms of getting the mechanics going, you can do that.
So Aave Ape is the branch that we're playing on right now, right?
Yeah.
And technically you could just bring this up. I think what you do is you do a yarn install and then you do a yarn start to bring up your dev server, and then you do a yarn fork to bring up your mainnet fork, and then you're playing with this stuff right off the bat, and you have all these cool things like being able to snatch funds and kind of play around with what would happen if you made that transaction live.
Yeah, and actually that tab you just jumped to is it on the sort of Kovan test network? So the one just to the right.
Oh, should we go check this one out next? Are we on the Kovan?
It's same sort of idea. You're then on the Kovan. You can do all the same sort of stuff. You can't snatch tokens in the same way, but you can essentially go through the same motions. Or you'd need to be pointing at Kovan, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I've got. Oh no! I hit it too hard. There we go.
That's the thing where Surge doesn't like paths unless you do some stuff with them.
We're so grateful to have Serge. Okay, so you were saying that there is a Uniswap on Kovan and there is an Aave on Compound or on Kovan, but they don't talk. And so they basically mocked up. So Aave has mocked up a Uniswap and keeps the prices set as if you were on mainnet. So it kind of feels like you're on mainnet. Is that right? Neat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it then the downside, I guess a little bit is that it's like interacting with the mocked Uniswap server. It's using all its own ERC20s, this kind of stuff. So like these ERC20s don't actually then show up in the Aave like testnet worlds. It's not, basically you just don't have the same composability on Kovan. Like when I was first trying to do this, I was like, oh, that's great. I'll use the Kovan version of Uniswap. I use the Kovan version of Aave, but then like the prices between the two of them are way out of whack because actually you've got to use the specific like mock provider that Aave have on Kovan, which works smoothly now. And so this is using that. But yeah, they're slightly different worlds. And again, it comes back to that thing where you just can't really quite recreate production or mainnet.
Neat.
But this is up there. We can jump that in. Like I don't know if the price will move enough for stuff to happen here, but we can drop the link in.
I don't have any ETH, or I don't have any WETH on Kovan. I think I need to wrap some ETH to be able to do this swap. And I tried to do ETH here, and it won't go to WETH.
Yeah,
probably doesn't work that way.
Shall I send you? I'll send you some. I've got some tokens.
Yeah. Send some WETH or some tokens to AustinGriffith.eth, and then
I can do that.
Dope. You guys have any questions? I feel like we've been totally like taking over the the voice here, but please pipe up if you have anything for sure. Don't mean to mansplain.
I think one thing what we can do is because as Adam mentioned that with Uniswap is using their own mock contracts and the prices are way different. What we can also do is that we can create pools with Aave assets on Uniswap and then set the prices, so that they match at least. So what we can do is we can have Aave's Kovan assets and create pools there.
I think Aave is doing that.
Yeah, so Aave they've kind of got a contract that does that for the like you can basically give it exact tokens in or swap tokens. So yeah, it kind of works, but it's not like pure Uniswap, if that makes sense. But yeah,
I think I've hit Serge too hard. Oh, I'm back.
Basically, yeah, if you're on a route, you need to on a like /lend. You've got to. It doesn't like that unless you do some other config stuff, which isn't there yet. Cool.
Just send me some tokens. Can I deposit? What do we got?
Yeah, one sec. I'm going to send you some true USD.
All right.
USD. How do you feel about that?
That's right at the top. I have no idea what the implications are of true USD, but it's at the top. I'm ready.
Come on. There we go. You got it.
Okay, here we go. Let's deposit. Not yet.
Man.
Oh, don't reload though. What am I doing? It's just like a... There we go. We got 500 TUSD. All right, here we go. And I'm guessing the price is 1 USD is what a TUSD costs. Okay.
1 true USD, I suppose.
One true. I don't want that fake stuff. Give me that true USD. Here we go. 500. Oh yeah, what are it? 5-second block times on Kovan?
Yeah, so you're slower now. Again.
It feels more real. Yeah.
It's queued up both those transactions.
Okay, so a block didn't mind. It triggered both MetaMask. It felt like the block mined and then the next MetaMask came up, but that's not true. It's actually both MetaMasks fired with a delay.
No, so actually that was like originally how I'd implemented it, but then the problem was when you go from local net to then MetaMask thinks that it can't do the transaction because it does its own verification stuff. So I had to put a like wait in, like transaction wait, great feature from Ethers.js. Hat tip. Okay, so this time we're actually shorting ETH, right? Yeah.
We're going long TUSD. We're going short on the WETH. and we'll do the same thing. Wait. Do I need to deploy an ape? Is it already deployed?
So you're on the ape that I deployed.
Cool.
So you can see a couple of my great trades earlier.
There we go. Let's see, how great were they? Some DAI, some TUSD.
I think I lost money twice.
Oh, okay. So this is keeping track with the actual. That's right. Okay, so we can actually, by the end of this, even though this is on a test net, we can judge whether or not it was a good decision or not, right? And you're seeing that here too. You opened long DAI, short link, and you closed. Yeah, you lost money, right? That's, I think, not only did you have to pay hundreds of dollars in gas, but it was a bad choice.
Yeah.
And here you kind of looks like pretty even, but
gas fees, you're having a bad time.
Another thing, I think we can have a disclaimer as well in the aping in this tab that one of the assets has to be just to be safe. It has to be a stable coin, so that the prices just to be if the prices go down, if we have two volatile assets, there can be a case where the prices can fluctuate a lot, and that can cause liquidation in a real scenario.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like this is definitely very risky. I feel like you could still go long one asset and short another asset, and neither of them have to be stable. It's just like it's easiest for us to use USD or something that is stable versus some other thing, and then so you're only worried about how that one thing is performing, but technically it could be two things kind of performing against each other, and it would work.
You could, and that could go very well or very badly. Like,
yeah. So we're in, right? So
you're in.
Now what we're hoping is that a WETH goes down, right? So then over the next couple of minutes, we're hoping that the price of ETH doesn't do well. Is that right? Can we go to coin market cap? Yeah. Got my.
So actually, if you go onto the app now, I think it's, if you jump back, sorry, on the wow, what a chart.
Here?
Yeah, if you go back to the ape, it has the current price. If you go up, just in the middle there, just under the two select things, down, the one below that, this guy.
Here. There we go. Okay. So this is what we would be watching when we would want this to go down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to
there's
move.
a good chance that it's probably not going to go down, judging by this. So yeah, here we are. We're right here, and we're hoping that the price of ETH goes down. So then the ETH that we've borrowed, we can pay back at a cheaper rate, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where then suddenly you realize that whenever you hold anything, you're short everything else, right? Like that's the way it works.
And we're watching this ape. Any closing thoughts? Let's see. We're still watching our ape to go. Wait, where is it again? Wait, WETH price. Oh, I need to select TUSD to WETH. Still at 52. Haven't moved. Our big bet. Is it moving?
And this is one where I don't know how often Aave actually update their because this is one where because we're on Kovan,
we can see it right here.
Yeah.
Because we're on Kovan, we're using their price oracle through their sort of Uniswap equivalent thing. It's a bit of a circle, and you're sort of dependent on them updating that stuff. But yeah.
It looks like the price actually has gone down by 20. It depends on what we're getting. I think we're getting this maybe from CoinMarketCap or not from this, maybe from the USD. I feel like this may update and go down, and we may actually, let's see if we give it one last reload before we probably got to close out, but let's see if we get one last price change here. It's down a little bit, right? I mean, it's not all the way to what this is, but let's see. So let's go select our TUSD. Let's select our WETH. Still at 0.52. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this isn't moving. But if that moved a little quicker, we could show some profits and losses here as we would go, and then we would unroll and get out of the position. Cool. This has been really good. Any closing thoughts? So basically, if you want to get started building something similar to this, go check out all these active branches on the scaffold-eth repo. Aave Ape X NFT. Don't know what that is, but we'll see what it turns into. Excited. Chainlink. We got a bank. We got streaming meta multi-sigs. We got challenges. We got the diamond standard. We got DeFi R tokens, flash loan intro, denial of service. So many good branches out there. This one in particular is scaffold-eth, and then you go to Aave, right? Or type in ape. Go type in ape. There we go, Aave Ape. And that will set you up with what we've gone through today. And there's a couple of these that were deployed, and really all you did there was a yarn build, and then you shipped it to yarn S3 or yarn surge, right? You put it on surge.
Yeah.
Yep. So yarn build and yarn surge will get you this, and you'll have to probably adjust your front end to kind of be pointed at whatever URL you want, whether you want your local or Kovan or whatever.
I think it's on dot environment, but I can add that to the README. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Awesome. Yes. Do not try this in production. Disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. And go build a cool product with scaffold-eth. All right, guys. Happy Bowtie Friday. Thank you guys for coming along.